Hi everyone. I welcome you all to the live session on email marketing tutorial by Intellipaat. This session is conducted by an expert having more than 15 plus years of industry experience.
But before we begin the session, make sure to subscribe to our channel and also hit on the bell icon so that you will never miss an update from us. Email marketing is the digital marketing practice of communicating with leads and customers with email. The number one thing that makes email marketing more effective than SEO and social media is that you have a direct line of contact with your audience.
Emails allow the marketing company to talk to their potential customers one to one. By watching this video on email marketing, I am very sure that you will be able to build your email list, improve your open rates, write amazing newsletters, and ultimately turn your subscribers into customers. On saying that, let's see the agenda of the day.
Firstly, we will begin with Introduction to Email Marketing. In that, we will tell you what is email marketing and why is it so important. Post that, we will be telling you the challenges faced in email marketing and also tell you how to overcome it. Then later on, we will tell you how to optimize emails for mobiles. Post that, we will see what is email spam and we will tell you the tips to avoid emails from landing into promotions. After that, we will see how to compose a great email and also how to set up an email list. Later on, we will be learning about email segmentation. Then finally, we have covered how to become a digital marketing associate, followed by digital marketing interview questions and answers. So guys, this is the agenda of the video. Now let's begin.
What is email marketing? When emails are used as a medium to deliver a message with advertisement or marketing content, it's called email marketing. This is done with the essential target to generate revenue. So the underlying statement is to generate revenue from. That is the essential target of email marketing.
Here are some, I think they've given a Flipkart promotional emails. And I'm sure this is something you guys must have seen. A lot of mails from Flipkart and Amazon, anything related to promotions, it by default goes to your promotions, right? To your promotions tab in Gmail. So multiple reasons there. One is like generally most of these emails have keywords, generic keywords like savings and all, and offers, free and all that stuff, right? Because of which Google by default will tag it under promotions. This is again an Amazon mail, like Coupon Dunia mail, right, with bunch of offers. There's again a typical blog, right? And they're just sending you some basic details and they expect you to click and read more about it. Now, what is the transaction mail? Transaction mail is nothing but that sends you uh, any specific solution, right? So something like a OTP, something like a verification mail. Those are transaction mails, right? Now, transaction mails always lands in your inbox because the pipe is different. So when I say pipe, just for SMS and email, you have two different pipes. You have a different pipe for transaction. You have a different pipe for promotional. Now you must be thinking like, what if I sent a promotional email through my transaction email, right? One, you cannot do that. I mean, when I say you cannot do that, as in it's not legit. So the moment you start that, and you will get caught in a day or two, and the entire your IP will get blacklisted. One of the reasons again why email marketing is the most preferred channel out there, because you can literally personalize anything, right? Which is not that easily possible in any other channels. When I say any other channels, I mean Facebook, Google, or affiliates, right? Now, personalization here is not just personalization based on the product, which again can be done through Facebook and Google based on the cookie. But here the personalization is more with respect to the messaging, right? So you can put in the name, your complete name, if you have the date of birth, even that can be added. So we can really personalize it to the core, right? So here is an example, right? So it says in Google Ads, again, when you search for sell your car, all you see is a generic ad, right? I mean, this is again not at all personalized. All it says is, about the features of it, like how can you sell it quickly and what are the features of their company, right? Similarly, if you look at a Facebook ad, it's not completely personalized. I mean, it doesn't show your name or something anywhere, right? It just again speaks about the USP of the product, right? Similarly, for Instagram, right? I mean, you might probably get a feedback or a review on that product, but again, it's not completely personalized, right? Now, the beauty of email is you can totally personalize, right? So here it says, right, dear Janice, and this is again seems like a exit cart abandonment mail because probably they might have added something to the cart and they might have disappeared, and there the mail came to the user, right? So here, like I said, the name is included, the coupon is included, and the beauty is even within the coupon code, the name comes, right? This is also personalized, and they have also handpicked a bunch of product based on the behavior of the user, right? That would have happened on the website. Now, the good part is here the chances of conversion is very high because everything is personalized for that user, right? Here is again another example of Dropbox. So, like I said earlier, right? You can personalize it with the name, and this looks like a generic mail, right? Just like how anyone messages each other, right? So you would definitely go through it. I mean, the chances of you missing it is very low, right? You might at least put in a glance through it, and you will try to capture some data through it, right? While going through it. There is another one, right? Like completely personalized with the birthday details and all, right? So this again, I'm sure you must have seen in India also, right? A lot of banks you would have observed on your birthday, you get a mail from them, right? I mean, just wishing you happy birthday, right? And with e-commerce, some of them they do that. They give an offer also in India. I think Myntra used to do that earlier. Not sure about now, but earlier they used to give an offer. You know, Swiggy does that, by the way. They'll give you an offer if it's your birthday. Now, this also depends whether you have entered your date of birth or not, right, within that platform. The other thing about about email marketing is unlike a display or a search ad or Facebook ad, chances are that you don't miss that because the moment a mail hits your inbox, you get a notification, right? So even if you're on mobile, you get it. And the good part is as more and more smartphone penetration grows, the more and more people are going to. I mean, it will be easier for you guys to access them, like target them through email marketing, right? And some interesting data points here. The third most frequently performed task on a smartphone is again checking emails. It says. The other thing is people generally have this habit of going through the checking their emails, right? So let's say even if you leave your phone for maybe 5 hours, it doesn't matter whether you're an employee or not, right? The moment you pick up the phone, one of the top notifications that you see is always the mails, right? Now, depending on the subject line, you might open it or you may not open it, right? Which again we are going to speak about as we proceed. Yeah, this is again another reason why you should stick with email marketing because emails are relatively cheap if you compare it to a Facebook or Google, right? Now, here I think the pricing is also on the higher side. So typically, a good email, like a good vendor, if you're doing it in bulk, you can get the pricing at as low as 3 paisa per email, right? And again, there are a bunch of ESPs available. So when I say ESP, I mean email service providers, right? So to name few of them, the top ones are Mailchimp. Then you have Netcore. You have in India. There is SendGrid, and then there is Amazon. Amazon does emails, although that's purely on the transactional front. But yeah, even Amazon provides emails solutions. There's again a high-level comparison in with respect to CAC that typically Google versus social media and email. Now, guys, this is actually true, but the catch with email is, like I said, you got to have that user's data with you, right? Only then it makes sense. Otherwise, if you're start launching a new product, you don't have a subscription list, so it doesn't make any sense for you to take this path. Now, again, I think we can skip this. The other thing about email is you can automate a lot of stuff on email. So I'm sure you must have observed it, right? So when you go to an e-commerce and when you purchase, let's say you just add to cart and you just move out, you don't purchase. So a lot of big players, they will drop you a mail after few hours, right? And if you don't engage, then after few hours again you get a mail. So these mails are generally automated. So in marketing terms, we call them as drip campaigns. So basically you set up a drip. So it's technically an if-else condition. So if a user comes, if he's not performing this X action, then send him this email. If he's performing Y action, send him this, right? So that's the beauty of email. Once you have good amount of database, which again come in the form of sales or can come in the form of subscribers, you can always set automated emails, right? So newsletter is another example of automation, right? You must have observed you subscribe to some newsletter and you get an automated mail a month or a week or something. Right? Now this is again the drip campaign, like I spoke earlier. So first email sent. If it's opened, if they respond, then the second mail goes with details on how to move ahead, right? If they don't respond, then send them a follow up mail after a few hours, right? So you can create multiple such trees, and there are a bunch of tools available for this for setting automated mails. We'll speak about it as we proceed. The different scenarios in which you can automate email follow-up, right? So one is like the example that I gave, that user hasn't purchased from the website for a certain amount of time, and you set a drip in such a way that after 24 hours an email goes to the customer, right? And then you can also create that urgency. So if a user has added something to the cart, you can always send a mail in such a way that saying, here is an exclusive offer for you that expires in 24 hours, right? So that you create an urgency over there, right? And the third is you can always do it on the behavior. So basically, you would have seen that if the user has come and browsed through denims, you can probably send in the top 3 denim options to the user and see whether they're clicking on that or not, right? And of course, you can always send a coupon code to kind of push that user. So these are the top automation tools out there: Mailchimp, Netcore, Octane, SendGrid. Mailchimp is again a global player. Netcore is and again an Indian player. Octane is also, although they are big in India, but I think now they are also going global. So it's another example, right? So let's say if you're handling email marketing for your brand and you have sent out just 1 lakh email to prospective clients, the sales team will come and say that there is only 20 customers through the email blast, right? And they're happy with the result. So they ask you to shoot more mail. Now, is that the right way to do it directly? I would say the answer is no, because you got to analyze the data, right? You got to see how many people open the mail, what's the open rate, what's the click-through rate, right? And then you also have to look the unsubscription rate. That is how many people unsubscribe to any email, right? So, like I said, analyze the results, right? Like any other marketing campaign, it's important to analyze. Like you got to look at, you can again optimize the campaign at multiple ways, right? If your open rate is low, that means probably your email subject line was not really catchy, right? That's the reason you didn't open it only. Now, if your click through rate is low, that means you opened it and you didn't click in that, right? So, by the way, guys, in email, open rate is whenever you open an email. So, let's say you send email to 10 people, only one guy open it, then your open rate is 10%, right? And if you, let's say, if you send the email to, let's say, again 10 people and that's only one guy clicked on it, right? So again your CTR is 10%. So I hope you guys understood how we use the terminologies open rate and click through rate. Yeah. The same thing that we discussed. Email opens is basically you can track the number of emails that has been opened in your email campaign. Now, the other thing about email marketing is people always prefer a personalized mail, right? So it's very simple. Between both, which would you click, right? This, the moment you open up, it's very clear this is a promotional email that anybody can make it out. But this doesn't look like that because this is a bit personalized, right? I mean, you will definitely go through it because this is like any other email that comes to you, right? Any other personalized email that comes to you. So as a user between both, I'm sure a lot of you guys would agree that you will end up reading this one rather than this one, right? Because for the first one, you already took a call mentally that this is an ad, right? Right? This one looks more personalized from a content standpoint. So there's a HTML email that we just spoke about earlier. An HTML email is like this is like the creative. So the way it works is you need to first get the creative done with the help of a designer, and then you need to get an HTML developer who will write the code in the backend, right? And these are like basic black and white text mails. This is something you can do it pretty much yourself. All you got to do is like write content and insert link, just like how you do it in a normal email. HTML emails, again, this is used a lot for what do you call, for the promotional stuff. Because let's say if you are an e-commerce site, let's say you are selling t-shirts, a simple email with text won't work, right? Because he needs to visually see what it is, right? So that's where the HTML creatives comes in, wherein you can put in the actual images out there, right? Now this is again the example of personalization. It just speaks about Mother's Day, and it's again quite a generic email, right? And this is another email from Cash Karo. Now, the good part about this mail is the subject line. The subject line is very catchy. It says only for you 100% cash back, right? So now, as a layman, you might try to open this and read it once, right? because there is that personal angle in the content, right? Now this is again a big turn off, so as you could see, the content is too much. Now you might read couple of lines. If you feel like this is not really relevant, then you might just drop it off as it is, right? This is again a traditional sales mail. The problems with email marketing. This is, I'm sure, like a lot of people must have observed, a lot of you guys must have observed, right? Majority of the times you see emails which says sales at the rate or do not reply. So you often get, you often ignore that because you know that this is again not anyone individually sending it to you, right? It's either coming in through a company or something, right? So although in promotions you can't really avoid it, but up to certain extent you can make it look a bit more creative, right? So instead of using do not reply, you can use the person's name and you can send it so that there is more personalization over there, right? Now, guys, this is again very important thing. From whenever if you guys intend to do HTML creatives, you need to ensure that it is optimized for mobile. And although this is a solved problem today, most of the developers know about it. But I think we should also ensure from our side that it is mobile friendly. The creatives, the HTML is mobile friendly. Basically, when I say mobile friendly, what I mean by that is when if somebody is opening in mobile, it should get auto adjusted. So you see the difference between both, right? This is too small to read. I might just skip it. But this one is like large enough, and I might just consume the content. Again, one of the most crucial thing to improve your open rate is two things matter from with respect to open rate. One is your subject line. Second is the initial content in the body, right? So whatever you can read it upfront without opening it, right? So if this content is creative, then chances are high that you might open it. So by the way, this mail is a transaction mail, because it says your like your September box has been shipped. Now this is providing an information, right? So any mails that you get from Amazon, Flipkart with respect to your tracking or with respect to sending a mail which says, that item has been delivered, these are all transactional mails because it's providing an information, right? You go to any org out there, everyone will have a transactional pipe. Now that transaction mails are automated, a marketer doesn't play any role there. All you do is just create the content and you just create that condition and leave it. You don't manually send any transactional mails, right? Everything is automated. So for e-commerce, multiple transactional mails goes for one file creating an account. Second is when a transaction happens. Then during the entire shipment tracking, mails are sent, right? Once the product is delivered, mail is sent. Then there is a review. They will ask for a review. So all this is like one complete process in transaction mail. So yeah, the other thing is with respect to subject lines, like I said earlier, right, a short subject line immediately allows the user to grab the attention. So again, don't try to keep it too lengthy because nobody has the time or the bandwidth to read, right? So in this, you pretty much even know what it's about to say, right? So if you have the bandwidth, you might open it or you might just leave it. Wherein this one, it's very clear, right? It says we want to hear from you. It's very clear that this is more like a survey. So chances are high that you might open it because you know exactly what it is about. This is the pre-header text. Like I said, the initial content that is visible. So just to ensure that it is a bit catchy and it generates curiosity. So you see this one, right? It clearly says, does this email look wonky? Go here, and there's a dot dot dot. So this again, it's not really giving you much context about what it is. But if you start it by generating curiosity, then by default your open rates will be very high. So these are again the basic sanity checks, things to remember, that your mail should be displayed correctly on the mobile device. It should have a good subject line and the pre-header text, it should provide context and generate curiosity. And if you put in, if it gives your complete name, then it's completely personalized, right? So the chances of you opening the mails is very high. So here it says, you randomly received an email from a resort in Goa. That mail tells you about the amenities and stuff like that. And if you decide to use the service in the next 30 days, right? Situation one is you don't have any intention to go to Goa in the next 90 days, nor were you thinking about it. In this case, the above mail is spam. You haven't asked for the mail, nor is it relevant to you. Now, in this situation, it won't by default become a spam. It will only become a spam if you mark it as a spam, right? But when it's coming, I'll probably read both and then I'll explain. So yeah, the tips to avoid promotions folder is, like I said earlier, right? Always try to avoid these keywords like discount, free, off, buy, exclamatory mark, anything which says offers or discounts. It's going to go by default to your promotions tab. And that's the reason today you look at all the top brands, you'll find majority of their emails in promotions, because they cannot just avoid these keywords, right? Because they often have some of the other offers running, right? The other thing is the mail content in the body. Also, just ensure that you don't repeat a lot of these keywords. Otherwise, it by default will be tagged under the promotions folder. HTML, majority of the time, the moment you bring in an HTML creative, the chances are high that it will directly go to your promotions. If it has again multiple images and multiple links, then again it goes by default to your promotions folder rather than your, because multiple links only comes for a promotions offer, right? No personal message will come with multiple links, right? So this is a very good example, right? Although I won't prefer this mail because this is way too lengthy, but for to register a webinar, it's clearly, I mean, first it spoke about, although the content is way too much in between, but the copy is great, right? It's personalized. It says, "Hi Rajat, the webinar was awesome, but we were missing one thing, right?" Now, after that, then they have put in a quote and then a basic content about, what are you going to learn, right? And then there's just one link in this, which is registered for webinar, right? So such mails have very good click-through rate because people go through the content and generally if there is a good value add, people might go ahead. So here the value add is this, right? It says, I once heard someone say that if you were to get just one single new idea or tactic out of a book, it would instantly be worth $10 to $20 you would spend on it. In other words, you have a positive ROI. Imagine if you just get one tactic out of this webinar, right? So this is like a probably targeted towards a marketer, and it says that he's going to probably share a few tricks, right? And he's asking to register. See, guys, out of everything, the most important is your IP reputation. If your IP has a good reputation, after once you build it over a certain period of time, it won't go down that fast. So if today a Swiggy uses a keyword like jackpot, or you won a jackpot of offers or something, it will never go to spam because the IP reputation is built. But if they would have done that on day one or day two, it would have definitely gone to spam, right? This is also another very important point. A lot of free email marketing tools that you guys use, it has shared IPs. So basically the way it works is there will be one IP through which both our emails will be sent. So let's say I'm sending a spammy email and let's say you are sending a good generic genuine email. But if my email gets reported as spam, then by default even your email will take a hit. Doesn't matter how good it is because the IP reputation is bad now, right? So it's always good to ensure that you have dedicated IPs. So this is again very important. So people who are not used to email marketing, and let's say if you guys are working with any email marketing, any ESPs out there, just ensure you tell them that, just ask them whether you're having a dedicated IP or you're having a shared IP. Because a lot of companies, to save money, generally they use shared IPs. Like very few companies use dedicated IPs for each players out there. And of course it also comes at a cost. So let's say if you're doing a volume of only like 1,000 emails a month, very few players will give a dedicated IP. Even if they give you, they will charge you a bomb for that. But always ensure with your ESP that you have a dedicated IP, and just keep telling them in between to share the IP reputation score, whether it's good, it's bad, or it's neutral. So how to check if your mail domain name is blacklisted or not, right? MX Toolbox is one of the tool wherein you can put the domain name and check whether it's blacklisted or not. So this again happens, when you keep sending a lot of spammy mails, and if a lot of people mark you spam, then it gets blacklisted, like I said earlier. So what happens if you get blacklisted, right? So then the only option is to choose a different domain and also choose a different IP address. Because what happens is if a domain gets penalized or if it gets blacklisted, it's very easy to get it out of it. And no matter what you try, majority of the time the email will again go to spam. So the best thing is to start, get a new domain and start it again from scratch with the basics, and ensure that you don't repeat the same mistake that you did earlier. This is again the basic sanity. Ensure that your content is within 100 words, your body is within 100 words. Don't write too lengthy content, because people generally don't interact, and people don't like lengthy content. Nobody loves to read lengthy content, right? And second is, ensure that your subject lines are very catchy. It generates a lot of curiosity. Only then, the open rate will be good. I think out of all of this, the most important is curiosity. Always try to ensure a curiosity. I mean, remember the iPhone example, right? You could have simply put in all the details over there, like this is the iPhone, this is the price, this is the feature, right? People might read it, but it won't give them an option, a reason to click. But if you just put in a content, hey, iPhone just launched these amazing features that everybody was waiting for, right? Chances are high that some of them might just click and just read the content. Now again, moving on to the campaign, right? So this is, I think they have shown for MailChimp. So see, if you guys intend to do it, if you, let's say if you have a list, let's say you already created a list, which is again of opt-in users, okay, not the purchased ones. Ensure that you import the entire list into MailChimp, and create a very unique email ID, the from email ID, right? So here they have created Harry Potter, right? And the name also they've kept it as Harry Potter. So don't put in like a no reply, or hi or hello or something. Always try to put in some name, and try to put in a very catchy name as well, right? And it's my personal suggestion that do not send it to the entire database up together, because you never know how the users will react, right? Because let me again explain with an example. Let's say if you're running a blog on, let's say, on dogs, okay. Now let's say you guys captured 100 email IDs, probably of pet owners, right? Or probably let's say you captured 5,000 email IDs, right? But you never did anything. But today you sign up on MailChimp. My suggestion is don't send the email on the entire 5,000 users. Send it on 100. See observe it, right? See whether what is the open rate, what is the click rate. Send it on another 100. Now take this 100 from different batches. So I'm sure you didn't capture the whole 5,000 email IDs in one day, right? It would have happened over 6 months or 1 year or something. So if it happens over 6 months, then people who came in the first week of the month, they might even forgot about you, right? So today, if you send any mail, chances are high that they might even mark you as a spam, right? But the last batch, it is fresh, so they remember you really well because they recently subscribed. So chances are high that they will engage with you better, right? And in the beginning, you always want high engaging customers. So you send them the email first and see the open rate, see the click through rate, and then you send another 200 email, then you send 500, then 1,000, then 5,000. So slowly, gradually increase it, and always look at the data, right? So let's say you end up sending 5,000 emails over 3 weeks, and let's say 4 or 500 people opened it combined, right? Now that 500 people are the click through rate, that is the clickers data, right? Now tomorrow when you send 5,000 emails on a new base, you will get another 300 click data, right? So combined you have 700 clickers data. Now this is the most important data, because these are the people who performed some action on the website, right? So tomorrow you can just send a campaign only on the 700 people. Ideally your click through rate and open rate should be much better, because you are sending the email on the most active base that you have, right?
Just a quick info, guys. Test your knowledge of digital marketing by answering this question. What is the full form of CTR? A. Customer Trending Report. B. Check the reports. C. Click-through ratio. D. Click-through rate. Comment your answer in the comment section below. Subscribe to Intellipaat to know the right answer. Now, let's continue with the session.
So this is again importing the data from CRM. This is again pretty easy. Even if you have a list, you can just import it in Excel file or CSV or something. Or if it's a small list, you can even copy paste also, pretty much.
Just a quick info, guys. Intellipaat provides digital marketing online training in partnership with SPJIMR, mentored by industry experts. The course link is given in the description below. Now, let's continue with the session.
So some of the panels like MailChimp, they will by default give you a lot of generic forms. So if you want to run a sign up offer, they will give you a template. These are predefined templates that will be there within the panel. But if you want personalized ones, the only option is you will also find an option which will say upload, HTML file. Those are the personalized ones, right? If you want to get a creative done yourself, like I said, you need to get the image done, that is the creative done, then you got to get the HTML CSS done for the same creative. So this is the HTML code, guys, by the way. So either you can copy paste it or you can upload it. Yeah, any of that works. And once you send an email, let's say once you create one template, you can always save that template so that you can use the same template again and again, right? So like I said, some of the platforms will provide you by default different templates, which you can just, it's more like a drag and drop and you can update the content yourself. But most of the personalized ones are created by individuals. Now, once you send multiple campaigns, you can see such data, right? Open rate, click rate, right? So let's say if you one day you send multiple campaigns, you can see the data and you can compare and you can take a call with respect to which one is working better, right? This is again the basics, content, the click to, the call to action button. Always ensure that the call to action has a different color, probably a bright color, because in the end that should stand out, right, compared to anything else. So generally people use colors like red, yellow and all, so that it stands out and it's appealing as well. So here you could see, right, this mail will have very less CTR because the CTR is somewhere it's somewhere they have put in an extremely, people won't, this won't be even that visible that easily, right? Ideally this thing they should have put it on top in bold. These are again like I said, just try to keep content within 100 words, otherwise it looks terrible like this. Nobody reads such cluttered emails. Segmentation is very important. Like I said earlier, for e-commerce, you have to break the data, right? So somebody who has dropped in at add to cart, you will be sending him a mail with the image of whatever that add to cart was, right? So you will be sending him a dynamic email with personalization, right? Similarly, all the clickers data, you can compile it and you can send him a separate offer. So yeah, email list again, multiple ways. Purchasing again, it's a big no. Please never do this unless you really know the source of it, because there are a lot of scammers out there in the industry who will sell you some random base, and if you send mail on that, then it will screw up your panels. So don't do this. Affiliate agencies also, no good agency will sell you the data. Referrals, yes. Social channels, yes, you can build it yourself. This is again the industry benchmarks. I think again this varies a lot, guys. I would say don't go by these fancy numbers here. Anywhere if you get 8 to 10%, it's a good open rate in promotional, and then you can slowly try to keep optimizing that as you progress. So yeah, that's pretty much about email marketing.
So why do we require digital marketing? You might have heard of the term digital marketing so many times. You might be using it. You might be a product of it. So what is this world of digital marketing and why is it so important today, right? So think of this. There are thousands and thousands of businesses, hundreds of thousands of businesses, in fact, in today's world, and over 50% of them say that they're getting a considerable amount of savings. They're making exponential profits through digital marketing rather than conventional marketing methodologies of before, and they say that, be it promotion, either of their products, either of the services, or whatever it is, they only seem to have advantages, and nothing but advantages when they're using digital marketing. So when 50% of the business world says this about digital marketing, you definitely have to take a look at this to further depth, right? So when you think about it, at the end of the day, there's three very immeasurable things that come into the picture when digital marketing is of the talk. One, it's geographical expansion. Second, measurable analytics. And third, it's higher revenue. Talking about geographical expansion, think about it. You're a local business and you want to spread out to the rest of the world, right? So if you're sitting in one part of the USA or just one part of the India, you might have extremely good access to your part of the city or the local area that you live in. Now if you want to move your business abroad, you want to expand it, it'll become very tough using conventional methodologies. But then with digital marketing, that is not the case, right? You can place advertisements on the internet, use social media. There's so many things that you can do that'll rapidly scale up your businesses and take it across the world without much effort. That's the main reason. Then coming about analytics, yes. See, with digital marketing, there is one advantage that traditional marketing will not provide. For example, if you've put your advertisements in newspapers, and if the newspapers has been distributed all the way across your cities, you can only track the number of newspapers that has been dispatched, but you cannot have a solid way of determining if the people reading the newspaper actually saw your advertisement or not. When it comes to that digital marketing, this is where it is really shining, because here every single aspect can be tracked. If you're running an advertisement, you can check out how long people have spent on your advertisement page. Have they clicked on it? Have they interacted in any way? So each and everything can be tracked with utmost care. So that is what makes it measurable. Every single interaction, every single aspect of what and why and how the people are interacting with your cause, your product, your services can be checked, verified, and eventually used to learn and develop better products or better services in the future as well. Now, coming to higher revenue, I think it speaks for itself, because with all of this, if you're cutting down a lot on your costs and eventually hitting the right customer base, have good customer retention, and eventually you're doing things right, where your product is reaching people when it has to. The timing, of course, is very important. The quality is next, and there's so much more. So when that's the case, revenue, of course, is going to go up at the end of the day, right? So moving on, here are very quick digital marketing facts in case if you guys were knowing this. So starting out, the world of businesses has been transformed as you know it. See, there was a time when you had to walk into an actual store to buy a mobile phone. And nowadays, that's not the case, right? I'm just giving you a simple example. Think about this. Every single second, there is around 77,000 searches or 80,000 searches for products and services. So every second there are 77,000 people who want to buy something or who are looking for some sort of a service. Every single second. Yes, by the time I just told you that sentence, there would have been lakhs of searches regarding this. So when that's the case, yeah, it really is important. And of course, when you think about the entire marketplace called social media, think about this. At the start of January in 2020, there were 4 billion social media users. 4 billion. Yes. Now that's a market. If you can tap right, then of course your business is going to flourish, right? So, and the third thing is, yes, if you really have to talk about numbers, understand this. If there is a start to any business transaction, 90% of it happens with a simple search on a search engine. Yes. So whenever there has to be a business transaction, people are going to take to the search engines, be it Google, be it whatever it is. They're going to start searching for it, understanding about it, researching about it. So any of these transactions, 9 out of 10 of these transactions, in fact, start out with people actually going on the web and hunting for products of digital marketing. So that's a very important fact to consider as well. So just guys, before we move on, I just want to take a second to tell you all that we here at Intellipaat stand together in solidarity with all of the frontline workers, doctors, medical staffs, scientists, and everyone who's putting their life at risk, so that they can bring an end to the pandemic. So here, we're just taking a second to applaud all of them and stand alongside them. And I hope you guys are all safe at your homes, maintaining all of the norms, social distancing, wearing masks, and of course, keeping your learning at its highest. So, the next thing we're going to discuss is the trust in digital marketing. On your screen, you are seeing a trillions of dollars worth of businesses, right? It's not billions, it's trillions. Everyone from American Express, Airbnb, be it Amazon, Coca-Cola, Lego, the biggest toy company in the world, Nike, of course, IKEA, the biggest furniture manufacturer in the world. They have their own forests for lumber. That's how big IKEA are. Then there's Ford, there's Tesla, and hundreds of thousands of other companies who rely on digital marketing. It's not like they won't do great without digital marketing because they're already established. No. So they've shown, they have reported, and they stand by digital marketing and say that it has had considerable impact in their business units respectively. So when these big guys say a lot, and especially if it's 99.9% positive about digital marketing, you guys as learners definitely have to have a look into this more, right? So you as learners have this kind of a view here. You should think about it this way. The first thing is that we've been talking about advantages of digital marketing, and we understand that there is good things happening there. There is strong things happening, bringing more revenue, decreasing the cost, making a considerable change and all of that, right? So that's one aspect of it, that you have a strong change of measure. You can understand things and you can change things for the better as experts or as learners in this digital marketing field. The second thing which you might not know is that a digital marketing job is one among the top 10 jobs in the entire world right now for this particular decade. So when it's that important, it is always good to stay on the trend train, jump on it, and understand it more, guys. So coming on to the benefits of a digital marketing certification, the first important thing we're gonna have to talk about, you have to understand that you will earn up to 30% or more when you compare yourselves to non-certified professionals. Of course, there are going to be exceptions where people are exceptionally good at digital marketing and everything, and they might be earning a little bit more. But then, of course, when you look at the general demographic, it has been said, it has been sorted that you will be earning 30% more than a non-certified professional, and this is a very high-paying job as well. As we'll be checking out the average salaries in the next couple of sections, you will understand that having that 30% edge over non-certified professionals, you will realize the value, guys. So it is a lot, trust me on that. So coming to the second benefit, I think it's all about understanding another section where you will have the upper hand, is that number one, you'll have verified skills. Experimentation is good when you're learning, but then having verified skills and knowing that if you do this is the outcome, and your outcome is going to be good, and it's going to be better, it's going to be best, whatever it is, that is very important. And the second thing is that, of course, with learning comes education, right? So you guys will know at the end of the day what needs to be done for what particular campaign, on how to take it from point A to point B to eventual success. So that is very important. And third thing, of course, experience. In the field of digital marketing, freshers are of course very much welcome, but then with a certification, you will bring with you a lot of experience, which is extremely handy, because see, this is a field where you can track every single thing with numbers, and if you have the capability to show people that you can bring new growth and bring down the costs, bring up the revenue, whatever it is that the goal is of your campaign, and if you can prove it with numbers, then of course you are adding a lot of value to that company, guys. So take a second and do think about that. And then if you have to talk about another benefit, a personal benefit, all towards the company itself, you will be operating a lot more efficient with a certification, because you understand the things thoroughly. And people who are certified, majority of the people who are certified are actually the ones who are leading the industry of digital marketing, and there's a fine reason for that, right? So when you think about it on a whole, being certified, be either you're a fresher, you can be a person moving from another you can be a person moving from a programming language aspect as well. Again, we're going to discuss on that. But at this point of time, you do have to understand that you will be operating on a next level if you are certified, because that will help you. It's not like you're seeing or running for the first time in your life. You're already trained to do it, and now you'll be doing it very well. So that's the point there, guys. So this is a section which will intrigue a lot of people, is the average salary of a digital marketing certified associate. Guys, the numbers are actually great. The average salary in the USA per annum is somewhere around $80,000. It's around 8 lakhs per annum in India, and 41,000 pounds in the United Kingdom as well. So as a fresher, as a person who's getting into digital marketing, these numbers to me sound very attractive. These are very much attainable in the respective countries as shown below. All you need to do is you have to be trained, you have to have the right skill set, the interest and the drive and passion for digital marketing at the same time. So with this, we can come towards checking out all the job roles that you will be extending for, to commonalize everything and just say digital marketing associate might be okay, it might be fine, it might be right, but then there's more to it. Because look at your screen right now. I've mentioned over 10 different job roles, and I couldn't fit more on the screen, to be honest with you guys, because there is a lot more. If you're into the world of digital marketing, you can become an SEO analyst, a content specialist, social media expert, pay-per-click expert, affiliate marketing executive. You can become an ad expert, an automation specialist. Yes, a marketing automation specialist, email marketing lead, online PR manager, inbound marketing lead, a sales funnel expert. Guys, I can go on and on. So if you see this, the potential is really there. All you have to do is, at this point of time, do not be overwhelmed thinking, okay, oh wow, I do not know any of these, can I still do it? Yes, you can. Stick with me for a minute, you will understand how. The point here is to tell you guys that you will have a lot of scope, a lot of domain, a lot of choices, in case if you guys are confused about not knowing where to go from wherever you are right now. So instead of just having the title of one job role, you've been given the freedom to choose from all of these, and not a lot of fields give you this kind of flexibility, right? So when you think about it, this makes a lot of sense. So coming to the steps to actually learn digital marketing, I've broken it down and I've kept it very simple, guys. So there's not going to be any technicality here, but then these are the things that you should think about, and these are the things which are not thought about by a lot of people. See, the step number one will talk about picking your initial focus, right? Let me just step back here. See, there's so many things that you see on your screen right now. You will have to pick a focus. You will have to find out what you like doing and then work on it. That's the first most important step of learning digital marketing, guys. Are you liking SEO? Do you want to optimize content, or do you want to create content? You know that you're good at it, or are you very good at creating very catchy advertisements, or social media events, or you're extremely good at people skills and you have very good affiliate marketing techniques. So all of these, right? So you need to understand where you're good at, and you have to weight against, can you take it further? So it's a very simple way between that, guys. So when you talk about digital marketing, it's two ways we always talk about. One is customer acquisition, where you want people to come see your content, or you want people to land on your product page or your service page or whatever it is. The second part of digital marketing, which people won't often see, is retention. See, if you do provide a very catchy advertisement or whatever it is, whatever campaign you're running, customers will definitely come. People will definitely be interested if your content is good. The second aspect of it is to think, will the customer retain? So if you've sold one product, it doesn't mean you forget that customer. It is to make sure that the customer really likes whatever you guys are doing and keeps coming back for more products, right? So that's how you build trust. That's how you build a network, and that's how you eventually build a company, build a product. So customer retention is something which is very important. So you have to think about either working on the acquisition side of things of digital marketing or the retention side. You might be asking, hey, I know I want to work on both. I want to bring new customers and I want to do everything I can to keep them. Well, of course you can do it, but then when you're working in an actual production environment, there will be so many things that there's a good chance you cannot do both of these. So just make make sure you sit and understand about what you are going to align with better, and then work on it, guys. So step number 2, it's of course, do not be overwhelmed. If you are on this video, I am sure you would have already gone through a couple of articles, or you're interested to check it out. Let me tell you one thing, there's so many things on the internet right now, you will not know where to start. You might be a bit confused, you might be intimidated, and you might lose interest when you genuinely have passion for digital marketing as well. So step number 2 is to take it very slow, take it very easy, have a structured way of learning always, because of course, I'm not gonna lie, there's gonna be amazing content everywhere on the web, but then since there's a lot of it, it'll eventually get to you guys. It'll be very confusing and you would not want to start. This happens to everyone, in one or the other field. It might be somewhere in the IT field or anywhere else at one point of your life. So you will be intimidated by so many things present around you, right? The same will happen in the world of digital marketing as well. There's so many fancy terms, complex things that might get you startled. So my advice to you in step number 2 is to keep it really simple. Coming to step number 3, it's learn by implementing. See, this is one thing which is very important, is that whenever you try to do anything in the field of digital marketing, you have to implement it, guys. So let's say you have a friend who has a local business that you want to probably support. You bought something and you really liked it. To check your digital marketing skills, what you can do is you can give them a little shout out on social media to see how catchy your kind of way of advertising is, in case if you're into advertisements, right? So when you think about this, doing all these tiny little things to check if it'll work in a smaller environment will help you scale towards big things, guys. So you really have to understand here is that this kind of experimentation is a little different between the world of digital marketing and programming language. Of course, both ways, it is only recommended that you guys have all the practical experience that you can to kind of experiment, learn new things, and do all that you cannot. But in the field of programming languages or learning, things can get a little it can get a little tough, because there's syntax, there's so many things you have to learn about and understand about, right? In digital marketing, that is really not the case. The readability is 100% in English 99% of the time. So when you think about it, readability is always there. So if you're a beginner, an intermediate user, a person from a non-technical background, a person from a technical background, whoever you are, guys, I recommend you guys sit and do some sort of experimentation with whatever you're doing. I gave you the basic business example, right? So giving a shout out to your friend, that's a great way to get started with digital marketing, guys. And step number 4 again rolls back to step number 1, where you'll have to master your niche. You have to understand what you're good at, experiment on it, and only then you can find your favorite thing. See, in the field of digital marketing, as I told you, it's a bit different from the programming world, but then here it's like an ice cream flavor, guys. So I see, for example, I might love the flavor chocolate, I might love the flavor vanilla, and you might not have the same favorites, right? So you do have to try out a couple of things to understand what what you like, or what clicks with you, and what you would want to take up further, either in your career, or for your hobby, or for your job role, or whatever it is that you're planning to do. You have to master your niche and put some time and effort there, guys. And of course, step number 5 is the most important part of it. It's certification and job hunt. We're talking about the digital marketing certification here in this particular video, and you do have to understand that there is
Just a quick info, guys. Test your knowledge of digital marketing by answering this question. What is the full form of CTR? A. Customer Trending Report. B. Check the reports. C. Click-through ratio. D. Click-through rate. Comment your answer in the comment section below. Subscribe to Intellipaat to know the right answer. Now, let's continue with the session.
immeasurable benefits of having a certification here. Straight up 30% increase in your pay grade above non-certified professionals has a lot to do it. And if you're certified, your visibility to people who would want to hire you is exponentially higher, because at the end of the day, they know that you have put in the right amount of work and you have the experience that is required to handle a production environment, to handle the actual whatever is the requirement of a business company, a run running business company. It might be a small startup, it might be a huge company, but then they will know that you can handle it for sure, right? So of course they would want to prefer you as well, because they're going to be putting their time and investing money on you too. So think about that. So coming to the first point on this top digital marketing interview questions and answers set, it states briefly explain digital marketing. Well, one thing before even we get into the answer of this, make sure you do not get carried away, because the question specifically says briefly, right? So make sure you keep it as concise as possible while answering this. So digital marketing is one of the world's most important domains right now in the case of online space, because this is exactly where we're trying to, put all the methodologies, terms, techniques, where we're scaling brands, products, and we're bringing a closer interaction between the customers and the people who are providing these for us, right? There are many things that when it comes to digital marketing, there's SEO, email marketing, social media marketing, and many other domains, many strategies, and of course this is an ocean in itself. So this is something that you can use on understanding how you should answer this question. Coming to question number 2, it states, what are the types of digital marketing in the industry? Well, again, this is another question. Make sure you do not get carried away with the question. Understand that there are many types of digital marketing, and it is okay if you cannot state all the types, but at least 5 should help you out. We have email marketing, we have social media marketing, we have SEO, that is search engine marketing, then we have affiliate marketing, content marketing, search engine marketing, which is SEM, and of course PPC, which is pay-per-click advertising as well. So these are the mainframe, I'd like to call the foundational aspects of digital marketing types, and there are many others, and with every single day that we're trying to cater to a wider variety of audience, there are more methods that are being created as well. Coming to question number 3, it states, please define SEO in brief. Well, SEO actually stands for search engine optimization, as you might already know. So what this is, it is a structured approach, it's a technical approach that we take in helping us drive a higher quality and of course a higher quantity of traffic onto the website as well. So our website may be of a brand, it might be of a product, or it might be of a service that we are offering. So considering all of this, you want more people to land on your website, right? You want the traffic rate to be increased. So this number that we put in, what we call as the incoming traffic rate, to increase all of that and to make sure that the people coming in are actually genuine, they're not spam bots, and they're they're of high quality in a way that when they come on the website, there's a good chance they're going to make a purchase and leave. So to cater to all of these things and to make sure that we do it all organically, we use SEO. So organically means we do not have to pay any sort of money to the search engines to get the website up in the rank, but we do it organically as well. So that is how you can approach this question. Coming to question number 4, it states, what are the top 5 ways to increase traffic to any website? Well, as we mentioned, right, since digital marketing is not a one-time solution for all the problems out there, so each individual problem has its own solution. So whenever someone asks you saying what are the top 5 ways to increase traffic, it is very subjective, because it really isn't possible to tell you the top 5 and say, hey, this will work for you, because that is wrong. So how do you answer this question, right? So make sure you pick up the top 5 methodologies which are well-oiled. It means that there's a good chance that no matter what domain you're in, these 5 methodologies have proven to work before, and it should work for you as well. So we have SEO interlinking, we have content marketing, we have paid advertising, volume based catering, and of course email marketing as well. So these are some of the top 5 ways you can actually go on to increase traffic to any website regardless of what they're doing as well. And of course you can mention any other top ways to increase the traffic as well, but at least in my opinion, mention 3 or 4, and if possible do talk about them as well. See, there's a lot of things when it comes to paid advertising that you can talk about. There's a lot of things when it comes to interlinking, content marketing, and more as well. Coming to question number 5, it states, what are keywords? Why are they considered important in this domain? Well, keywords, as the name suggests, literally are the thing that people search for. So these are the words that people type in to search for something on a search engine or anything, right? So if you are implementing SEO in your strategy and your website has to appear whenever someone searches for this, it means that this is the keyword that you're catering to. If someone searches in Google saying Nike women shoes, and if you are a person who's selling Nike women shoes, then you have to do everything you can to make sure you rank up higher on the Google search engine's first page, right? So if you do that, there's a good chance someone's going to come to your website, land on your website, make a purchase and leave. So that's how this works. The most important thing about us is this: with keywords you can actually analyze it into a good amount of depth. You can go into the details of it. Keywords are used, keywords can be exploited if they're done correctly, and at the end of the day, if you do everything right, you will turn in more revenue if that is the base requirement of your digital marketing campaign. And of course it makes sure that you're putting your brand out there as well. So coming to question number 6, it states, where all can keywords be used to drive more traffic to a website? See, keywords can be used in a lot of places, right? So you can answer probably this question in multiple different ways. And if you just pause the video right now to think of an answer, I'm sure you guys will come up with a lot of ways, right? But the most important ways where keywords have a lot of impact is, when you have content which cater to the keyword in terms of the web page title, the web page URL, the meta description, the content you actually put on the website, and of course all of the headings as well. So if you use the keywords in these 5 places, right, there's a higher probability of driving in more traffic, because all the algorithms that work in the search engines, they'll crawl through these, they'll understand that you're catering for the keyword, and they'll want your website to rank as well. So coming to question number 7, it states, what are the 2 main ways of categorizing digital marketing? The 2 most important ways that we talk about marketing and digital marketing is inbound marketing and outbound marketing. See, inbound marketing is completely based on the customer, right? So you have a customer, or you have a set of customers that you're catering to. So you'll write blogs for that, you'll create social media channels, you'll talk about your product there, and you will just keep the entire scope, the entire focus on your customer and work on what's required to get your product out there. Now, when we're talking about outbound marketing is a little different, because here what we're trying to do is that we're trying to find the need for product requirement and how we can actually go on to provide it. Now, inbound marketing might cater to a smaller set of audience, but outbound marketing is definitely a huge audience as well, right? So think about putting billboards up. In the case of conventional marketing, you have televised advertisements, you have magazines, and all of these conventional methods which can be considered as outbound marketing, right? Even though inbound marketing, there's 90% of chances that it can cater in a more bigger audience compared to outbound in today's online world. But at the end of the day, there are subtle differences that exist, and it's just in the subtleties that we have these main ways of how we can categorize the working and what sort of clients, what sort of prospects the methods bring in as well. Coming to question number 8, it states, what are some of the most used digital marketing tools today? Again, there are many tools out there in the world of digital marketing, but then there are these top tools which of course you as a person watching this video should know, right? So there's Google Analytics, we have Ahrefs, we have MailChimp, we have the GKP or the Google Keyword Planner, we have Kissmetrics, Keyword Dictionary, SEMrush, Mossbar, and we have many other tools that we make use of digital marketing as well. So at least pick up on, let's say, 3 or 4 tools, or maybe 5 tools, and maybe give an introduction about one tool, and talk about it to show that you actually know that as well. So if you're on this video, I'm sure you guys might have used one of these tools. So whatever tool that you know out here, make sure to mention about that. Coming to question number 9 next, it states, what is pay-per-click advertising? Well, one thing you really have to understand is that pay-per-click is something which is extremely popular in the world of digital marketing. It is one of these methodologies where we actually have to spend money and we have to pay the advertiser, to actually put up the website. And whenever there's an advertisement that gets put up, and there's a small amount of money that gets transacted every time there's a person who clicks on this advertisement that's shown on the website. So, for example, if you probably are reading a blog somewhere, or if you're just browsing around on the internet, you will see an advertisement panel, right? So someone has paid that website owner to put up that advertisement, and as soon as you click that, there's a small transaction that happens in between the website owner and of course the person who asked for the advertisement to be put up as well. So it literally, as the name suggests, it's pay per click. So every time there's a click, there's a payment that happens, and money moves around in a very small amount, of course. So considering this is actually very popular, because this brings in a lot of different prospects at the end of the day, and it works. This is one of the most important methodologies that's widely used in digital marketing. Coming to question number 10, it states, what is black hat SEO? See, one thing you have to understand about black hat SEO or any other techniques that are used in SEO is that all of these techniques are aiming to get a higher ranking out of these search engines. So again, black hat SEO is one of these methods as well. It's this approach which says no matter what, let's get the rank. So there's a lot of unethical things that get done here because every search engine out there has its own guidelines that you have to follow. So if you're not complying with these guidelines, it means that it is unethical. You will be using a lot of methodologies which is not approved by the search engine people. And of course, when you keep doing this, right, think about link spamming, think about adding hidden links or fishy links and all of this. So when you're doing all of this, it will give you a huge surge in the ranking immediately. But of course, the surge that you get is short lasting. It is definitely not long lasting because all of these search engines have extremely intelligent algorithms working in the back, and they can pick it up, and of course they can start deranking or delisting the website as well. So you might be wondering, why would they even require that short surge in ranking, right? So that is actually done to make sure that they might be catering to a quick sell and a quick get out. So in that policy, they'll come in, they'll get the website to rank, probably have the product to rank, get the word out there and be done with it. So in that case, they're establishing their brand in a very rapid way. But to grow it, I would definitely suggest either using white hat or any other ethical method in digital marketing as well. And then there might be a follow-up question for after the black hat SEO question, which is, okay, so what is white hat SEO, right? See, white hat SEO on paper is one of the most used SEO techniques across the globe out there, because here you will be making use of a lot of techniques which is ethical, which is present in the guidelines of the search engine itself to make sure that you're not doing anything wrong in the perspective of the search engine. So there's a lot of things that is involved in white hat SEO. It's website optimization, it's creating good quality content, adding backlinks, a lot of things where you will be doing everything legally, you'll be doing everything ethically to make sure that you get a very good rank as well. Of course, you will not see a huge surge in rank, and of course the landing traffic as black hat SEO, but this is a slow and steady growth, and this anything slow and steady, it usually tends to outlast something which is very highly rapid paced, right? So in that particular case, that is white hat SEO. And then there's one more type, which is called as grey hat SEO. Grey hat SEO, as the name suggests, grey is a mixture in between white and black, literally, right? So in this case of SEO, that's the same as well. So it's basically a mixture of both white hat techniques and black hat techniques too. So the person, a grey hat SEO developer, what this person will do is he or she will make use of techniques from both the sides of the table. So one day you're working on something which is ethical, which is in the guidelines. The next day you might be working on spamming a little bit of internal links or doing something fishy there. Using the best of both cases to get your website to rank. Now you might be wondering, why shouldn't everyone try this, right? See, there's a huge hit or miss that happens in grey hat SEO. Half of the time the algorithms cannot pick up grey hat, and most of the times they do, of course. But if it hits, then you'll get a huge surge in rank, and the search engine thinks it's ethical. If you do not, it means that you'll start getting delisted and deranked. So it is a literally flip of a coin. But then if it works really great, or it doesn't work at all. Of course, considering all of this, it's really best to stick to white hat SEO.
Just a quick info, guys. Intellipaat provides digital marketing online training in partnership with SPJIMR, mentored by industry experts. The course link is given in the description below. Now, let's continue with the session.
Coming to question number 13, it states, can you state some methodologies that can be used to improve conversion rates? See, whenever we're talking about conversion rates, right, it's the ability of you catering to your audience with beautiful content, an aesthetically pleasing website, and providing good functionality as well. Now, if I have to go through 10 pages to buy a product, I definitely will not do it. This is the common consensus from thousands of people. That's why the e-commerce sites that are very popular today are keeping it as simple as possible. With probably 2 or 3 clicks of a button, you can purchase something. So to keep that kind of a good user experience is definitely something that will help in improving conversion rate. When we talk about conversion rate, it's basically when a person lands on the website, they're a prospect, right? They're just looking around. When they start adding things to their cart, and once they actually make the purchase, they're a customer. So this entire goal of taking someone from a visitor and making them a customer is what we talk about when we think about conversion rates. And of course, it's always vital that there are new methodologies put in, but a good user experience definitely helps to drive the conversion rates. And then the 14th question states, what is Google AdWords? AdWords is actually, as the name suggests, it's advertising words. It's a short form. It's an advertising service that gets provided by Google, and it is one of the most widely used advertising service as well. Because here, what we're trying to do is it works very similar to PPC, and it's one of the world's most widely used PPC systems as well. Since it's Google, of course, everything is structured, everything is brilliantly made. It doesn't cost a lot, and you can have your budget set up. You can work on how you'll be working on payments, what sort of content that you have to display, how it has to be displayed, when, what, why. So you'll get a lot of flexibility for a small amount of money. It definitely isn't small if you're if it could be tough if you're a small time company, but at the end of the day, the returns that you get from AdWords is huge. So in that particular case, Google AdWords add a lot of value to the digital marketing campaign. Coming to question number 15, it states, what is the difference between SEM and SEO in brief? One thing you have to know about SEM is that the basic difference lies in how it works. SEM stands for search engine marketing, while SEO stands for search engine optimization. With search engine marketing, what we're trying to do is we are purchasing advertisements on various search engines, and we are forcing our website to rank. So we are paying the search engine and asking them to get us to rank. With SEO, that's not the case, right? With SEO, everything is organic. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get use of all. So what we're trying to do is we make use of all of the top of the methods that we have, all the tools, all the techniques, and we're organically trying to bring in traffic. That means that we literally are not paying anyone anything. Of course, I mean the search engine, and we're bringing in a lot of traffic that way as well. So considering that, SEM and SEO work very differently, but at the end of the day, they have a common goal of bringing in more visitors to the website, having more landing rates, and a higher rank on the search engines too. Coming to the 16th question, it states, what social media channels are popular today in terms of digital marketing? See, whenever we think about social media, there's many forms of social media, right? There's social media for everything, and there's one new social media probably coming out every month. So considering all of these, there are a lot of big guys, right? See, you have LinkedIn, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Snapchat. In today's world of especially influencer marketing, Instagram is showing a lot of potential, and influencer marketing is an ocean of its own. And I'm sure if you're here, you might have already watched an influencer marketer pitch an item for you, or in fact, you yourself could be influencers as well. So considering all of that, there are many types of social media. For example, LinkedIn is used for jobs. Facebook is a very good pipeline where you can actually learn a lot of things. You can market your products very subtly, bring in a lot of people, have a lot of discussion groups and all of that. And Instagram is where you can showcase your product and be trendy and all of that. So answer this question based on your knowledge about how much you use social media and how best do you think what each social media can cater to. Coming to question number 17, it states, why has digital marketing grown to be this huge compared to offline marketing? See, whenever we think about digital marketing, right, it has shown nothing but exponential growth over the past few years, and there's many reasons, right? So again, do not get carried away with this question because you can probably talk about this for half an hour straight. So keep 4 or 5 points in mind and make sure to talk about that. One thing about digital marketing is that you can directly cater to the customer's need if the customer is 1 kilometer away or 1,000 kilometers away, no matter what, right? It gives you that extra outreach. And of course, when you have a good exposure to the product, what happens is that you will understand your audience better, you will get better feedback, you will know how to work with it with conventional marketing, right? So you'll probably put an advertisement on a newspaper, and of course, it will reach a lot of houses. But at the end of the day, you will not get a feedback from these people saying they just read a newspaper, they see your advertisement, and they're done. So they have no way to give you good amount of feedback immediately, and you cannot analyze as well, right? So if 10,000 newspapers got printed in one particular locality, doesn't mean that 10,000 people read your advertisement. So there's no way to track it. That advantage you have in digital marketing. And of course, you can be a person who's selling a product or having a brand in one part of India, and you have most of your clients in the USA as well. That's how it works with digital marketing. And most of the cases, you are basically open to the entire globe. And consider the newspaper example. Same, once you have it printed, once it goes out, if there are any changes that needs to be done, change in pricing, change in discount, or change in anything minor as well, it cannot be immediately done, right? But if you have a website with digital marketing, this change can be done immediately to make sure that you're not putting across maybe a wrong message or an incorrect message to your audience as well. So considering a lot of these points, digital marketing, there's a reason why it's popular, and I'm sure if you guys are on this video, I think you will know why as well. So coming to question number 18, it says explain AMP in brief. See, AMP is actually a short form. It's an abbreviation for what we call as accelerated mobile pages. So how AMP came about is that it was actually a brainchild of the people at Google and another very important social media platform, that's Twitter. AMP is actually an open source library. What it does is that it helps users to come up with a very simple web page without having to put much efforts into it. So what this does is this gives you quicker loading, and once you make use of AMP, what you're trying to do is you're making sure that your website doesn't take a long time to load, and that it really does not have to go through multiple platforms to be optimized for, and you really don't have to optimize it for every single website. So at the end of the day, the goal is to keep it simple. The goal is to load it quicker and to make sure that no matter where you view it from, no matter what browser you view the website from, it has to work fine. So to do all of that, we make use of accelerated mobile pages. And then coming to the 19th question, it states, how can you assess the impact of social media marketing? See, one thing it's very important that you have to know about digital marketing is the amount of money that you spend. You can track everything with metrics in today's world. There is nowhere that you'll have a blind investment and you will not know what you're getting, right? So in the case of social media marketing, you can check the number of followers. It can be Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, the number of likes you get, and how many leads, how many people are interested in the comment section to buy your product. You can have direct engagement, again same in the comment section, or they can DM you as well. In that particular case, you can talk about what they're happy about the product, why they're not happy, if they have issues that you would like to resolve. Content sharing with each others, of course, brand outreaching where you're trying to put yourself out there, subscription offers, and there's a lot of things in social media marketing. You can probably fill up the entire page, and maybe you don't even have to think about it, but you can give 20 different metrics on how you can track social media marketing, right? So this is a pretty straightforward question, but it's very important that you actually talk about them as well. Coming to the 20th question, it states, why is email marketing considered as the most effective way of digital marketing out there? See, with email marketing, there's millions of mails that get sent every single day, right? So it has the outreach, it has the potential, and it has a good way of bridging the gap that exists between customers and providers. So keeping this in mind, there's a lot of things that goes in on the back end that proves that email marketing is one of the most efficient way, one of the most effective way in which you can actually reach your customers and drive results out of it as well. So considering all of that, it actually is a very nice way to convert your customers pretty quick. Question number 21 states, what is click-through rate? Click-through rate, this question can be also reframed as what is CTR. CTR stands for click-through rate. So it's basically the number of times someone actually landed on your website by either clicking on a promotion, clicking on an event, or clicking on any sort of advertisement as well. So this click-through rate will tell you about if your advertisements are working, if your promotions are working, if people are actually clicking on it to get on your website or not, and if they do, how many people are doing it as well. There's a lot of other metrics that you can track about how long they're on your website, what's the scroll depth, and a lot of things as well. But the basic thing about click-through rate is that if you have an advertisement as a barrier, or if you have the advertisement as a gateway, how many people are crossing through those gates. Coming to question number 22, it says, how is return on investment calculated, or how is ROI calculated, right? Again, a very simple question, but return on investment you really have to know is that it is a literal difference between sales amount and the investment in marketing. So whenever we talk about ROI in the case of digital marketing, what is the amount of money that you put out? What is the amount of money that you took out of the company to hire digital marketing experts, to buy digital marketing tools, to pay for search engine marketing or any other kind of marketing channels, pipelines and tools, and what is the actual sales that you made, or what is the actual outreach that you're getting. So once you calculate this difference, you will understand that that this is the amount you spent, X amount you spent, and Y amount is the return that you're actually getting back as well. It's a pretty simple thing, but there's a lot of companies who are very keen on holding a good return on investment, and with digital marketing it doesn't take a lot of skill to actually get good return on investment, considering the person whoever is working on the pipeline is an expert, of course. Coming to question number 23, it states, what is the difference between page sessions and page views? So the simple differences between a page session and a page view is that whenever we talk about a page session, it's when a person actually lands on a website every single time. That's a session. If a person is on the website, a session is created and they're either viewing one or more pages that are present on the website. That's a view because they're actually interacting with the website and they're not bouncing off, right? So to track all of those metrics, we make use of page sessions and page views. Coming to question number 24, it says what is the difference between Google AdSense and AdWords? So AdSense basically help the companies create all the spaces that's required for AdWords on their website, where they should put it up, what they should do, and how they should do it right. And AdWords, of course, they're advertisements, right? So in the entire Google's ecosystem, AdWords is the most famous PPC out there, the way you can put out advertisements. But if you have to think about talking about AdSense and AdWords, make sure you talk about how they work together as well, because working with AdSense means you'll be using AdWords, and working with AdWords only adds advantage if you are making use of AdSense as well. So having this kind of relationship between AdSense and AdWords is definitely something that you should talk about. But the basic differences is that AdSense helps in creation of spaces, while AdWords helps in posting advertisements. Moving to the 25th question, it says what is your interest towards the field of digital marketing? See, with this question, the interviewer here is trying to assess what is your level of understanding in digital marketing, what is your level of commitment, and of course, the way you should answer this is, I cannot tell you one answer that's going to be right for you all, right? So you have to talk about your interests, your commitment to the field of digital marketing, and of course, your passion towards digital marketing as well. It can be something that has inspired you to pick up digital marketing, or that there's a problem that you are very good at solving, you have a knack for digital marketing, and people really like whenever you try to market a product, or you're very subtle with it, or whatever the reason is, right? So this question completely depends on you, but then you can use the foundational approach that I gave to go on to answer this question. Coming to question number 26, it states what is the difference between do follow and no follow links in SEO? Do follow links, as the name suggests, will actually tell the search engine and its crawlers to follow through and come on the website and crawl around and find all the details that's required to provide indexability. Whenever we talk about no follow links is when you tell the search engine to not follow and to make sure that you will not use any of that to whatever links that you have put in your no follow part of the code, right? It means that you're telling the search engine to not actually consider all of that for ranking the website. That's the basic difference that exists in between do follow links and no follow links. There's another difference is that do follow links, yes, considering how they work, affects the ranking of the websites. But if you have put in a no follow link, no matter what you put there, you're telling the crawler not to get into that. So it really will not hurt your rank or influence it in any way. Coming to question number 27. It says, how can a platform such as YouTube be effectively used for digital marketing? With YouTube, I don't think I really have to stress a lot, right? Because it is one of these amazing digital marketing pipelines where there's millions and millions of people every single month. So whenever you think about it, this is one of those places where you can cater through videos to the people out there. You're watching this yourself on YouTube as well, right? So you will understand that we have a direct relationship with you guys. You will have a goal to the campaign. So we, of course, will have a goal to our own campaigns, and we'll be meeting that as well. So to drive healthy traffic to your websites, to get your rank up, and at the end of the day you will need a lot of good content as well. So it doesn't mean that no matter how aesthetically pleasing your video is, if your content is not good, it doesn't mean you will rank, because at the end of the day, in YouTube especially, content is extremely important. Your website should be good, it should be elegant, your videos must be informative, and only then, when all of these three things come together, you will have a successful YouTube campaign too. So whenever you're asked about this, of course you can add on more points and then talk about how you think YouTube is very effective in today's world of digital marketing as well. So coming to the 28th question, it states which platform is looked at when candidates want to post or refer to job related advertisements? Whenever we think about anything related to jobs, the first social media that comes into mind is LinkedIn, right? Because this is one of the most famous social media out there for active job seekers, professionals, and whatnot. So if you're wondering if LinkedIn is the only place, well, no, there's a lot of other websites. There's InstaHire, there's Naukri, there's Shine.com, there's many other places, including Indeed.com as well. So all of these guys have the same goal of bringing together recruiters and, of course, bringing together candidates and giving them a common platform to express express what they want and what they're getting out of the jobs as well. So of course, whenever you ask this question, I think it's a pretty straightforward question, and the answer would be LinkedIn, Naukri, Indeed, Shine, and all of these other famous social media platforms as well. Coming to question number 29, it says, how can you measure the success of a social media marketing campaign? See, whenever we talk about success of a social media campaign, it means that we have something solid to prove it by, right? For example, analytics. So you'll be using multiple metrics in the case of digital marketing to actually showcase that, something worked or something doesn't work. So you have to be a numbers person, and you can prove a lot with numbers too. You can check the number of clients, the number of leads, what's the traffic that's coming in, number of sales, how many conversions from prospects to customers. And of course, once you have details in depth about your website, about your entire campaign, about what your image is, on the social media marketing platforms, basically you will get this direct correlation of what's happening, what's required, what are you doing, is it working or is it not working. So with all of these, you will have one close idea of understanding whether you're either close to your goals or you're moving away from your goals, and what is keeping you there as well. That's the most important part of how you should measure success with social media campaigns. And of course, with today's innovations, there's multiple tools out there that will help you do so. Coming to the 30th question, it states, why is an anchor tag used as an SEO practice? See, an anchor tag basically is the text that we use whenever we have to hyperlink anything, right? So basically, a hyperlink is a link that's embedded in the text, and as soon as you click on it, it takes you to the link that you have hyperlinked. So an anchor text is very, very important here, because this is how the content actually gets ranked on multiple search engines, right? So whenever you put out a website, it doesn't mean that it will always rank on Google or it'll always work on other search engines as well. There's DuckDuckGo, there's Yahoo, and there's many search engines apart from Google too. So in that particular case, hyperlinking is this connection, is this anchoring that states, what you can actually have a way to assess of how your content ranks on multiple search engines, and it gives you the functionality of clicking on text and opening a new link as well. Coming to question number 31, it states, what are some of the disadvantages of digital marketing? See, one important thing whenever you're answering this question is that start by saying that there's multiple advantages, right? Because at the end of the day, with digital marketing, the advantages, no matter how small they are, they will outweigh all of the disadvantages out there, right? So, but then it doesn't mean that it doesn't have any disadvantages at all. There are many disadvantages too. So, whenever you're talking about disadvantages, it is just that it will create a very high transparency in case of pricing and competition, because as soon as you put out a price out there, your competition already knows what you're selling it at, and they can drop their price and you can lose a client as well. And then when we're talking about globalization means you will be competing with the entire world out there. So that will bring in a lot more competition too. And of course, with digital marketing, there is always a threat of cybersecurity. There's always a threat of privacy issues that will have to be worked on too. And it's not only just this, it's just that, whenever you're working on digital marketing, it can get really expensive to hire experts. And of course, it can get definitely expensive to buy all the tools, buy all the, understand all the methodologies. And at the end of the day, setting up a marketing pipeline, especially at the starting stages of your company, or if you've never had a digital marketing platform before, is going to be expensive. So, you can talk about these 4 points. These 4 points are extremely important in understanding the disadvantages of marketing. Now, coming to question number 32, it states, what are the limitations with respect to the number of characters in Google AdWords advertisement? This is a very important question, and this gets asked a lot. See, the most important thing is that they have asked you for 2 things. One is the number of characters in Google AdWords basically, and what are the limitations that you can put in, right? So whenever we talk about headings and subheadings, understand that you can have a maximum of 30 characters. But whenever we're talking about descriptions and subline texting, there you can have about 90 characters in length. So 30 for the headings and the subheadings, and for the descriptions, it has to not exceed 90 in length. So 90 characters specifically. So whenever you ask this question, it's a straightforward question with an extremely straightforward answer, so put it out that way. Coming to question number 33, it says, can you name any 5 email marketing tools that are widely used? Of course, I'm pretty sure you guys can name at least 3 or 4, right? So this question should not be of a high difficulty to you guys. It says multiple tools out there, multiple email marketing tools specifically. You have ConvertKit, Autopilot, HubSpot, MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, and many other tools that are used out there. And of course, if you have used any of these tools, make sure to talk about your experience with the tools, what you think about the tool, to what level of proficiency you have used it. All of that will always add a lot of advantage to your candidature in the company as well. Coming to question number 34, it says, can you define the life cycle of a shopper on a website? See, this is a very simple question. It can be considered as a sales funnel as well, so right. So whenever someone comes on your website, as soon as they land on your website, they become prospects. Prospects is when they are actually looking around on your website. As soon as they click on your website, it's basically as soon as they start clicking inside your website. As soon as they click on the website, they can actually bounce without doing anything, so don't be confused. Now, once they start interacting with your websites, they're looking to see if they can buy something or there is something that's interesting to them. And once they're interested, they'll actually give you a little bit of details, maybe that you're giving a subscription out, you're giving a discount out or something, or they're adding it to the cart and they want to purchase it. So once they start giving you their details and once they start putting items into their cart, they go from prospect to become converted as a lead. Now, the entire conversion, right? Whenever we talk about conversions, as we have talked about multiple times in this video, it's basically talking about them going from prospects to lead. And of course, once they make a purchase, after the sale is done, they become customers. So taking this interest in converting prospects into customers is exactly what we're talking about when we talk about the life cycle of a shopper on the website. And then coming to question number 35, it states, what are some of the bidding options that are available out there right now whenever you have to consider about paying for marketing, right? But there's two main important things, two main important bidding options out there. One is the CPA, as we call as cost per action, and then of course, as we discussed before, we have CPC as well. So cost per action, again, as the name suggests, whenever an action is performed on that particular advertisement, it means that there's a transaction happening. And CPC is a pretty simple way of advertising, as you already discussed, because as soon as the person has clicked through, then there's a transaction that happens. Now, the next question states, what are the top 5 C's of digital marketing? Well, the top 5 C's, as we call it, is actually depending on very important factors that play a huge role in digital marketing, right? They are content, their creativity, that's consistency, good communication, and of course, customization as well. So whenever you talk about this, there's no order in answering to these, but do talk 1 or 2 lines about what each of them mean, right? For example, good quality content is essential. You have to be very creative in your digital marketing, because if you're doing everything that someone else is doing, you are not being creative. And then consistency, right? Of course, customers will love a consistent brand, and it will basically help you with your outreach. It will help you with your brand growth as well. And then when we talk about communication, yes, you need to have a good communication pipeline with your customers too. And direct communication is definitely preferred. And customization, right? Customization is very important. Now, so coming to question number 37, it states, can digital marketing completely replace traditional marketing in the future? Well, with this question, what the interviewer is trying to understand is that he or she wants to know how deep you know about the subject, or how well you have used digital marketing, right? So the best way to go on to answer this is to state real world examples and to say, hey, this is where people tried conventional marketing and people tried digital marketing, and this is where digital marketing worked. So real world examples are the way you're supposed to answer this question. And then, whenever we're talking about digital marketing too, so the most important thing that you have to understand here is that, digital marketing is very strong today. It has a lot of perspectives, and it's forever growing to be a good entity, right? So no matter how much traditional marketing is trying to make a comeback, there's no way, in my opinion, that it can overpower digital marketing too. But instead of fighting it against each other, digital marketing versus traditional marketing, so instead it'll add a lot of value if we can make use of both digital marketing and traditional marketing as well. Now, coming to question number 38, it says, can you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 depending on your proficiency in digital marketing? Again, if you are a good expert in digital marketing, make sure to rate yourself as honest as possible. That is very, very important, right? So if you are a beginner and if you say, I rate myself 9.5, you might be asked extremely technical questions, or you might be asked questions in depth that you might not be able to answer. So, but that doesn't mean that you have to rate yourself very low. That will hurt your confidence as well. So the interviewer itself, right, in this particular question, he or she is trying to see how spontaneous you are, what's your confidence level, and how well do you know the subject. So completely based on what you're trying to achieve in your digital marketing career, at wherever you are, you might be a fresher, you might be a person, intermediate user, or an expert. Answer it as honestly as possible. That is important with question number 38. Now, moving to the next question, it says, why are you applying for the digital marketing role in our company? See, one important thing that you really have to know is that whenever you are answering this question, which says why digital marketing, you have to talk about how you will fit into their company, right? They're specifically asking you, why are you applying for our company? So talk about their company, talk about what experiences you have or what education you have, and how best you can use those skills to drive that particular company to success. So doing all of this, you will require some basic stuff. You need to know what the company is, what they do, what is the audience they cater to, what's the job description, what's the compensation they're providing, of course, and every detail of the company is going to help you in a way where you can shape your answer perfectly for this this question as well. So I cannot give you one answer and say that this is how you are supposed to answer. This is a question where you can have a good amount of freedom while answering the question as well. Now, coming to question number 40, it says, has your prior education helped you with digital marketing in any way? Again, this is another important question that depends on you. If your prior education actually helped with digital marketing, talk about the latest courses, or talk about the latest program that you finished in college. If you worked on something which is very different from digital marketing, do talk about how that helped you shape your digital marketing career in a way that you are right now. Of course, if you had a direct digital marketing career or learning in college or school or something, you can tell that directly. But if it doesn't, don't just say no, education hasn't helped me with digital marketing. That's not the right way to answer. The right way is to say, even though you never started out with digital marketing at the start, but there are a lot of other things that definitely put the thought in your mind about how you can work your way towards becoming a digital marketing expert as well. So talk about all of that, and it's very important too. Coming to the 41st question, it states, how can we create new leads for the marketing pipeline? Well, how do you create new leads, right? It's the most important question the interviewer can ask to you. There's a lot of ways you can answer this question, but the most important thing is that you have to understand and analyze the sales funnels and all the techniques that goes into building that tunnel and seeing it through. Apart from all of that, again, there's so many things that you can do. You can start with customizing the content, driving a better user experience, making sure your website is very responsive, or maybe you're driving a very good campaign on social media that you want to bring over for conversion of people. And of course, there's many different ways that you can create new leads, right? Most of the time, it is usually social media marketing or email marketing that brings in the most number of leads for marketing, but it depends on what the company is doing too, right? So there's a lot of ways you can answer this question, but you can use my approach as a foundational one and then work on that. Coming to question number 42, it states, what are the latest trends in digital marketing today? Well, what are the latest trends? Again, it's a very subjective question, right? Because what's today's trend is something that there's a good chance it's going to be outdated tomorrow. But as of now, what's trending is people putting out long form videos. People are actually concerned about the content that they put out for their product. People give you personalized content, and this is something which is extremely important, and I really like it. There's voice searching, there's Google Discover, there's virtual reality, there's augmented reality. So there's a lot of ways that companies are trying to get in touch and impress prospects into converting them into customers. And it's just not these 5 or 6 that I've mentioned on your screen, right? You can probably name 10 or 15 things that's trending right now, but you do not have to stress on anything. Just make sure that this is how people are doing it. If you can give a real world example, for example, IKEA is a store that gives you this virtual reality app where you can click videos in your room by placing furniture right there, even though you have not made a purchase, right? So that's something which is going to attract a lot of sales too, because someone who's on their phone can literally see what the sofa or the what the cushions look like in their house, even though it's not there. That kind of flexibility brings in a lot more customers. So talk about some real world examples of that, something that's trending right now, and that should help with your answer as well. So coming to question number 43, it states, what is viral marketing? Viral marketing, as the name suggests, is taking up an effective form of marketing in a way where it grows really quick. Whenever we say that the video went viral or that concept went viral, right, it means that it grew really quickly and that people really liked it. There was a lot of rapid expansion happening. There's a lot of rapid interaction happening between the customer, the product, the brand, or the people who are using it on the internet, right? Things go extremely viral on the internet every now and then. So every day there can be something that's viral. So in that particular case, there's a lot of competition here. It doesn't mean if you find one thing which goes viral that your entire marketing campaign will stay that way, but it is a very good way to put your brand out there really quickly to friends, to families, or anyone else too. Now that we're living in a pandemic, there's a situation where not many people were wearing masks before the pandemic, right? Because mostly we were wearing it for, let's say, pollution or something. Now masks went viral because it went viral for a very important reason, is that it's extremely effective. Everyone out there needs to wear a mask right now. Now, considering all of that, if you see the marketing that went into it, right, even though much marketing didn't go into it, the demand itself made it viral. So that is another way you can approach viral marketing too, and of course, telling that out should add value to your. Coming to question number 44, it states, what do on-page and off-page SEO optimization methods mean? Whenever we talk about off-page SEO, right, it literally states doing all the things and using all the methodologies and the processes which will bring in, it will basically add to your rank. Even on-page SEO adds to your rank, but on-page, as the name suggests, is everything that is on the page. So it literally talks about the structure of the website, the content that you have put in, the way your user experience is driven, how well your website loads, how quickly it loads, does it work really good on a mobile platform. So doing everything on your page and of course away from it is the basic difference it lies in, as you can basically see from the name of off-page SEO and on-page SEO as well. So coming to question number 45, it states, can you explain some scenarios where bad links are used? See, this is a lot of unethical things sometimes. Whenever making use of bad links, there are many scenarios that lead to it, right? For example, you'll be using paid links, you'll be using links which are unrelated or very far away from the topic. That's not good. You'll be making use of links that are either spammy or they're flagged by the search engine saying this is not right, you're not supposed to use it. And of course, you start spamming variety of link exchange sites. You can go on to media and you shout out for a shout out kind of a concept and spam each other out. And of course, it's not just that, right? From multiple sites causing spam again. So using these kind of links in these kind of scenarios, it is definitely bad as per the ethics of search engines, at least. Now, coming to the 46th question, it says, what are the necessary steps that are taken to avoid a rank penalty? Is when a search engine has actually started deranking you or they're putting your rank down for a reason. So how can you avoid this? And doing this will give you a better rank, of course. So how can you do it? You should stop linking yourself to another website which might have a bad ranking. Doing that will definitely help you rank better. Avoid using poison words. Avoid using these kind of catchy clickbait, using hypertexting. Make sure that there is zero plagiarism on all levels of content creation and content optimization as well. And one important thing is that make sure you do not redirect through your refresh meta tags. And this is a very important point. Point number 3 and point number 4 are probably the most important things that you should do to avoid penalty. But important question that will definitely be asked in my opinion. So have as the foundation to approach this and answer it too. And now coming to the 47th question, it states, what is your plan after joining the marketing role? See, one important thing that you have to talk about is have the capability and the understanding to know about the company and and how you can start working with them at the earliest, right? See, it's not that you just go there day one and by the end of day one you have done a lot of things. You'll have to start with understanding how things are already there, how well you fit into the company, where you fit into the company, what kind of a structured plan that you have to either lead the team or to be a part of the team itself. And then you can work on implementing the plan that you have, verifying it, sitting with your board members or whatever it is. I have multiple iterations. That's the important thing. Iterating this and doing it in a loop where you'll find a new plan, you'll implement that plan, try to see if it worked or not, find a new plan, implement it again. So this looping thing that goes on is very important too. So again, use this as a foundation, but answer it to the best of your ability too. Coming to question number 48, it states, do you have any previous experience in the digital marketing industry? Well, this question can be asked both for freshers and experienced professionals as well. For freshers, if you have any experience learning and making use of digital marketing in the industry, you can talk about that. You can talk about certification programs. But then if you are a person who has a work experience before, make sure you elaborate on that, talk about it. But if you're a fresher, guys, one important thing is don't say, no, I do not have any experience. Keep the important aspect of saying no as less as possible. It doesn't mean you have to say yes, even though you have not done it. What I'm trying to say is do not say no, but talk about, come to the point, but take an out of the box solution, right? So if you're a fresher who might have been a product of digital marketing, or you've marketed something probably away from your career as well as a hobby or something, talk about that, because no matter what you say, anything apart from no, I haven't done it, will add some sort of value to your candidature. It's very important that you know that. And then coming to the 49th question, it says, do you possess any other skill that can add value to this digital marketing role? See, there are many skills that you might already have whenever you're thinking about digital marketing. So if you have any other skill that you think is going to add a lot of value apart from what you have mentioned on your resume, or apart from the initial discussions that you might have had, talk about that. For example, you might be extremely good at tracking analytics. You might be very good at designing an entire end-to-end digital marketing campaign program, even though you might be applying for a very basic role. You might have the capability to lead a team. You might have extremely good communication skills, very good project management skills, and all of that, right? So whatever skills that you possess which you directly haven't mentioned on your resume or haven't conveyed to the interviewer, this is the chance to do that, because this will add a lot of value to you as an interviewee there, basically, because to convince recruiters is not easy in today's world, but you can make it very easy if you know how tactfully you should answer these questions as well. Now, coming to the final question, it states, have you earned any sort of certification to improve your learning and implementation process? Well, certifications, you will know the numerous advantages that you will have, right? You will be open to jobs. You will be certified by top companies out there. You will be working with professionals across the globe who would have taught you the courses, the certification programs and whatnot. So you will know that you will have a plethora of advantages. But what should you do to convey this to the interviewer? Well, the interviewer will know that if you have had a certification program, that it means you're serious about this particular career, that you're putting your time, your dedication, your effort, your money into becoming an expert and having, making a change in the world out there. And let's say if you're a person who's coming from a background of electrical engineering and now you want to become an expert in digital marketing, you picked up a certification course and you completed it with all the good hands-on projects and the industry level exposure that it provides, it means that the interviewer will know that you have a strong aspiration, you have a passion towards this particular domain, and that you have the capability to learn really quick and learn in a structured way, of course. So this is what you should be conveying. Now, how do you do that? Well, to do that, if you have multiple certifications, of course, name the multiple certifications that you have done in the case of digital marketing. But instead of just talking about what all you've learned and what's the program all about, don't do that. Talk about how you have used it. Talk about the practical experience that you can drive out of these programs. Talk about how best that you have used the program. So talking about that, telling about how you have solved a practical problem is definitely going to add a lot of value to your candidature too.
Just a quick info, guys. Intellipaat provides digital marketing online training in partnership with SPJIMR, mentored by industry experts. The course link is given in the description below. So guys, we have come to the end of the session. If you have any doubts, please put down in the comment section below. We will try to answer it as soon